Stoicism is a philosophy that promotes virtue, reason, and self-control, and it advises avoiding certain attitudes and words that can disturb our inner peace and that of others. Have you ever stopped to think about the things you say and how they affect your well-being? In this video, we're going to look at some things that an intelligent person should never say according to Stoic principles. I assure you that once you avoid saying these things, your life will change for the better. So, if you're ready to learn, stay with me until the end of the video. Number 1. Constant complaints. Constantly complaining about external circumstances is useless and contrary to the Stoic idea of accepting what we cannot control. Instead of complaining, we should focus on how we can improve our response to these circumstances. Life isn't always fair, and spending energy complaining about injustices gets us nowhere. According to Epictetus, a great Stoic philosopher, it's not things that disturb us, but our interpretation of things. This means that what really affects us is not what happens, but how we interpret and react to what happens. Number 2. Destructive criticism. Stoicism advises being mindful of our words and avoiding criticism that isn't constructive or aimed at improvement, as this only generates resentment and discomfort without offering solutions or support. Hurtful or destructive words can harm others and ourselves. This kind of criticism reflects poor character and a lack of self-control, as well as being a waste of energy and time that could be used more productively. Instead of criticizing others, we should focus on our own actions and personal improvements. By improving ourselves, we can be a positive example and help others improve too. Number 3. Gossip. Speaking ill of others behind their backs is considered a waste of time and energy. Spreading negativity about others is not virtuous. Instead of focusing on others' faults, Stoics suggest focusing on our own personal growth. Gossip can reflect envy and malice and can cause conflicts, misunderstandings, and rifts in relationships. When we talk about others' lives, we focus on what is not under our control. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own actions and improvements rather than what others do. Number 4. Empty promises. For Stoics, integrity and consistency between words and actions are fundamental. Making promises we can't keep undermines our credibility and reputation. Committing to something we're not sure we can fulfill is irresponsible. We should always be honest about our capabilities and limitations. Empty promises can damage personal and professional relationships. Trust is essential in any relationship, and not keeping promises can lead to distrust and resentment. Stoic principles value actions over words. Instead of promising, focus on acting consistently and virtuously. Actions speak louder than empty words. Number 5. Speaking without thinking. Impulsiveness in speech can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts, harming both oneself and others. In Stoicism, wisdom is a supreme virtue. Speaking without thinking implies a lack of wisdom and consideration. Words should be the result of careful and wise reflection. Sometimes, silence is the wisest response. Knowing when to keep silent when we have nothing constructive or useful to say is our best option. Number 6. Practice virtue. Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good. Acting with justice, courage, wisdom, and moderation should be our main goal. Virtue leads to a full and satisfying life. Continuously seeking knowledge and reflecting on lived experiences helps us make wiser decisions. Facing challenges and difficulties with courage, seeing obstacles as opportunities to demonstrate our strength, fighting for what is right and just, even when it is difficult or unpopular, working to overcome irrational fears and facing difficult situations with determination. Number 7. Memento mori. We must always remember mortality to maintain perspective and value the present. This reminder can help you focus your efforts on what truly matters, valuing each day and living according to our principles, aware that time is limited. By being aware of this, we can focus on using it meaningfully and productively, avoiding wasting precious moments on trivialities. Memento Mori encourages us to live fully in the present, valuing each moment and experience. Number 8. Negative visualization. This is a Stoic practice that involves imagining possible adversities and difficulties before they occur. This technique helps to prepare mentally and appreciate more what we have. Imagining negative scenarios such as the loss of loved ones, health problems, professional failures, or any other difficulty is not about being pessimistic, but about emotionally preparing and reducing the impact of these events if they happen. The benefits of this practice are strengthening resilience. You prepare mentally to face them, reducing the emotional shock and allowing you to better handle difficult situations. Increasing gratitude. By considering the loss of what we have, we develop a greater appreciation for current circumstances and become more grateful for what we possess. Reducing fear and anxiety. Facing our worst fears mentally diminishes their power over us. Constant practice makes us feel calmer and less anxious about the future. Improving preparation. Negative visualization makes you more aware of potential challenges and motivates you to prepare better, both emotionally and practically, to face them. Promoting perspective. This type of visualization helps you maintain a balanced perspective, reminding you that difficulties are a natural part of life and that you can overcome them. Number 9. Accept fate. Amor fati. Love your fate. In Stoicism, this represents complete acceptance of everything that happens, including suffering and difficulties, as necessary and good. Stoics believe that everything that occurs is part of a rational and natural plan, and therefore should be accepted and loved. Epictetus summarized this idea with the phrase, "Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for things to happen as they do, and your life will go smoothly." We must accept and love everything that happens, and thus we will find peace and avoid the suffering that comes from wishing things were different than they are. This acceptance will allow you to face life with equanimity, seeing each experience as an opportunity for growth. Number 10. Focus on what you can control. According to Stoic principles, we must distinguish between what is under our control and what is not. Our actions, thoughts, and responses are controllable. The opinions of others and external events are not. Epictetus expressed this idea in his Enchiridion manual, saying, "Of things, some depend on us, others do not. Our judgments, inclinations, desires, aversions, and in a word, all our actions depend on us. Our body, wealth, dignity, honors, and in a word, everything that is not our own work does not depend on us." By focusing on what we can control and calmly accepting what we cannot, Stoics believe we can achieve greater inner peace and a life filled with virtue. Number 11. Develop self-discipline. Moderation and self-discipline are key in Stoicism. Controlling our desires and emotions allows us to act rationally. Stoics believe that self-discipline is essential to living a virtuous life in harmony with nature. We must be aware of our desires and aversions to work on controlling them. This means learning to desire what is good and virtuous, and avoiding desiring what is superficial or harmful. This self-discipline is not achieved overnight. We must practice daily through meditation and reflection to strengthen the mind and character. Marcus Aurelius spent time each day reflecting on his actions and thoughts. Self-discipline also involves developing resilience and strength to face adversities. Stoics taught that we must accept serenely what we cannot control and focus on our responses and actions. Number 12. Seek wisdom continuously. Wisdom is an ongoing process and begins with self-knowledge. This leads us to understand our own emotions, desires, and motivations, and recognize our limitations. Epictetus, for example, taught that we must examine our beliefs and judgments to align them with reason. Wisdom involves living rationally, acting with virtue, justice, courage, and temperance, and making decisions based on reason rather than emotions or momentary desires. We must accept reality as it is and distinguish between what is under our control and what is not. Accepting serenely the things we cannot change and focusing on our responses and actions is a manifestation of wisdom. We can seek wisdom through the study of philosophy and the teachings of wise people, such as the writings of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, which offer teachings about life and virtuous conduct. But wisdom is not only found in theoretical knowledge, but in the constant practice of virtue and integrity. Character is formed through consistent action and adherence to ethical principles, even in adversity. Now I propose an exercise for you to practice. Make a list of all the problems you have in your life, all the things that affect you negatively. Once you have made that list, separate the problems you wrote into two groups, one for things or problems that you cannot control and another for those you can control totally or partially. Once you have divided your list, accept and forget all the ones that are on the list that are beyond your control. With the list of things you have some control over, write next to each one what you can do to solve them. This will give you a better vision of the problems you have in your life and will help you find solutions and face your life more calmly. Apply this in your daily life and you will see how, with practice, you begin to live more peacefully and learn from your mistakes. What did you think of the video on this Stoic topic? Tell me in the comments about another Stoicism topic that interests you. I await your response. Before you go, I would appreciate it if you like the video, as it helps me bring this philosophy to more people. If you don't want to miss any other video, subscribe and hit the bell. I'll also leave you a link to the rest of my social media, where I upload more Stoic content. Until next time.